All right, guys. So we are on to another week of fitness. We are into a new program this week. So we've been doing the same one the last couple of weeks. Now we're starting a new phase of these. So today's program is going to be a straight set program, which just means that we're going to do continuous reps of one. We'll go through that after our warm-up. We have a 5-minute warm-up to start out with. Our warm-up is going to start out on the ground like Nathan's doing there. We're doing crocodile breathing, okay? Crocodile breathing. So our goal here is to lay completely straight out. He's going to put his head on his hands, and he's breathing in through his nose and out through his mouth. His main goal is to try to take his rib cage and make it as big as possible, okay? All right, guys, we're going to start in about 3 seconds. The timer going. All right, crocodile breathing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and begin. All right, breathing in through the nose. 3, 2, 1. Breathing out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to stay in the same position. We're going to do what's called lying dynamic Blackburn. So all Nate's going to do is take his hands back behind him. He's going to bring them out in front. Think of a jumping jack on the ground, right? So he's getting his hands overhead. Begin. Hands overhead, and he's trying to wrap them behind his back. You see Nate has great shoulder mobility, so he can touch behind. If you don't have that good of shoulder mobility, it's okay. Bring it as far as you can get away with. If it can just touch your sides, that's okay too. And then bring them all the way up and kind of almost hand clap at the top so you can get that full range of motion.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. Next we're going to do is called tactical frogs. So Nathan's going to go into like a child's pose position, so feet a little bit wider. He's going to sit back on his hips, and then he's going to drive into cobra. So cobra is where we drop our hips through. Begin. And then drive his hips all the way back. Drive his hips all the way through. Drive his hips all the way back, okay? So think he's sitting back on his heels, and then he's driving his hips through. As he drives his hips through, he's pulling his shoulders up. Try to get those hips as close to the ground as you can when you come down that cobra position.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. Next, we're going to do lateral adductor rotation. So he's going to go in a lateral adductor position, so foot out to the side. He's just going to hang out in that position, and now from here, he's just rotating to the sky and down. Begin. So he's rotating the sky and down. So he's not pulsing back and forth. He just has one leg out to the side, and he's rotating. He's bringing his hands through his armpit so that he can get a little bit of stretch there. And he's bringing up as high as he can, his eyes following it all the way up and all the way down. We're trying to get that upper back, what we call a thoracic spine. Trying to get that as stretched out as possible. Doesn't have to be crazy fast. The goal is just try to get some range of motion.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, same thing on the opposite side.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 1.
Begin. Good job, guys. Make sure if you're not, you want to feel it in the growing a little bit. So if you put a little pressure against the ground with your foot, you'll feel that growing activate. So it's like you're just putting pressure in the ground with your foot, and you'll feel that growing activate on that side, which will get that engaged while you're also doing those rotations.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. Next, Nathan's going to do a hand walkout, okay? So he's just going to go down to a toe touch position, and he's walking himself out to a plank,
2,
and then walking back.
1. Exercise
Walking
1.
out to a plank, begin. And then you can do a push-up if you'd like to make it a little bit harder, and walking back. Only add the push-up if you feel comfortable with your depth of your push-ups. Otherwise, the hand walkout is just fine. Try not to stand up when you come back into that hand walkout because we want to get as many reps as possible. So we're just trying to get that intense hamstring pull, or stretch. Walking back
3,
and forth.
2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good. We're going to stand up next. We're doing butt kicks. So butt kicks can be like running in place style. We're just trying to pull that heel and touch our butt. You can also march instead.
Exercise 1.
Begin. All right, guys. Just going, going, going. I do like people to pump their arms on this one because what it does is it shows overall body movement body works as a unit together, and it's a lot easier for the legs to kick when the arms are moving. Keep pulling that heel up, heel up.
3, 2, 1, rest.
And rest, guys. The last thing we're going to do today is a linear hop. So we're just jumping forward and back. Or you can do a 2-step shuffle forward and back as well.
3,
Either one is fine.
2, 1. Exercise
Begin.
1.
If your calves are feeling a little tight this morning, make sure you go to that. It's okay to go to that 2-step shuffle. Otherwise, you're feeling pretty good and you're feeling warm. Get the body moving in motion, right? This one's supposed to be the fastest we can go because we're trying to really get that heart rate up. Five more seconds.
3, 2, 1. Your timer is.
All right, guys, go ahead and grab yourselves a drink. Get your music ready to go. I wouldn't turn it on yet because you're still going to need me to explain things, but you do want to get your stuff ready for your music to be turned on. For those guys that are new today, we don't play music on our side just because we do record this and YouTube doesn't allow us to play music. So you can have music on your side, whatever you want. We'll tell you after we go through demonstrations on when to turn it on, okay? I have you guys all on mute. If you ever need to unmute yourself, you can go to your thing, or you can just like wave frantically at the screen and I'll see and I'll unmute you, okay? If you have a question about anything. Okay, today's circuit is gonna be, again, straight set. So like we do in the gym, a straight set is where you do the same exercise for 4 sets in a row. So we're doing push-ups first. So you can do push-ups for 35 seconds, rest for 20 seconds. Push-ups for 35 seconds, rest for 20 seconds. Push-ups 35 seconds, rest for 20 seconds, and one more set of those. So we'll do 4 in a row. Our goal here is to kind of burn out a muscle group and build what's called muscle definition, or like what we call muscle hypertrophy, okay? So Nathan's going to do 4 of, he's just going to demonstrate 1 rep of each one as we go through these different ones. We have 5 exercises a day, so 4 rounds of 5 different exercises. So the first one's going to be a push-up. All right, so full push-up position, abs tight, butt squeezed. He's going to go down under control and up. We're going to get pretty burnt out on push-ups today, so it's okay to turn it into hand release push-ups if you're starting to wear out. Take his hands off. That will help slow you down your pace a little bit. We can also go to knee push-ups. So a big thing about knee push-ups is bringing those hips. You see how he stays in that plank position? His hips are through, his butt's not high. You can do the same thing with that one. You can turn that into hand release push-up if you need to as well. So Nate's going to show a bad push-up for me real quick on that before we go. So this is a bad knee push-up. So he's going to nose dive, even more towards your hands. There you go. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, not to get that position there. That butt's higher than the shoulders. And the last variation we have is an incline push-up. You can do this on a bench. You can do this on a couch, anything that you need. That's our lowest regression. On that style, we do not do a hand release because then all the pressure's on our chest on that one spot. Okay, so you'll do 4 rounds of push-ups. And then from there, we're gonna do 4 rounds of squats. So we're gonna show different variations. Nate's first variation, he's gonna use a backpack as his weight. So he's just gonna throw a backpack on. You can use it in a goblet style, which means you can have a kettlebell in front of you, a dumbbell in front of you. And just think of this like a body weight squat, right? We're just doing a squatting pattern, goblet style, and we're squatting up and down. Whoop, that backpack's got him thrown off just a little bit. All right, so squatting up and down. You can also put, like I said, any kind of weight in front of you that you want, like we normally do for a goblet style. You can do it without weight as well. Body weight squat. If you have trouble squatting in general, you can do a couch squat, which can help you with your mobility a little bit if you're just sitting down and touching a couch. You can also do a wall sit for the whole time too. If you're having trouble with your squatting pattern, anybody has really bad knee issues, you can do a wall sit. So that Nate's showing the couch sit and then the wall sit. So pretty much just some variation of squat that you know of, that you've seen before, okay? So you'll do 4 straight rounds of that one. So the legs are gonna burn out a little bit. So you probably need to be a little bit smart about how much weight you choose on that one. Because by that 4th round, you wanna make sure that you can keep squatting consistently. Exercise number 3 is what we call a bicycle. We don't do these a lot in the gym, but they're actually, think of like a wall lab, but both legs are moving at the same time. So Nathan's gonna go into like a dead bug position. Okay, and then what he's gonna do is he's gonna take his elbow to his knee roughly as close as he can, and then he's gonna just switch back and forth. So just rotating from side to side. You see how his shoulders are rotating with his legs rotating? So think of like a wall ab, but the legs can move at the same time and they're bicycling back and forth. If you can't get a lot of upper body rotation like Nathan has, that's okay. The big thing we're looking for is that leg movement, all right? All right, so we have 4 rounds of those guys. Our main modification on that one, if you struggle with that one too much, is just doing a dead bug. Dead bug's always going to be our regression for almost everything, right? We can control that pace. You can always do a half dead bug if needed to, just one side moving at a time. All right, so that, if you think of that half bug, dead bug, it looks a lot like a bicycle. Okay, from there, we have single leg glute bridges. So our hardest variation today is taking the single leg glute bridge and going to an elevated variation. So he's going to put his heel on a box. He's going to put one leg in the sky, and all he's going to do is just take that single leg glute bridge, and he's going to be in an elevated position. From there, we can go down to the ground and do it on the ground. You could add a band to the grounded variation too if you don't have a thing to elevate and you want to use a band instead. Otherwise, we're just doing a single leg variation at the bottom. If that's a little too tough for your hamstrings, you can always do a glute bridge march. So for some people that gets a little tough, glute bridge march helps out a little bit. Make sure that you're switching legs each round on that one, okay? Each round you'll switch legs. And the last thing we have is our cardio variation today, which is a jumping knee tuck. So we're going to show 3 variations, so please don't get nervous about variation number 1. This is a pretty tough variation. Jumping knee tuck is just going to jump up, tuck his knees, and down, up, down, up, down. I'm sure Dina's yelling at him right now because he's making lots of noise in there. All right, rest. From there, we have pogos. So pogo's more like a straight jump up. Think of like a jump rope almost, right? So we're coming through that position. And then we have 2-step shuffle, going forward with our 2-step shuffle. Like that. So different variations there. You can change the height of that. You could be like a quick little jump. It doesn't have to be a high jump. You can do a linear hop like we did in the warm-up too. Our main thing is to try to get our legs moving and our heart rate up on that one. That's 4 in a row, so you might have to mix and match between the 2 of those. So don't worry, we'll call these out after each round. I'll make sure I recall which one are out. We're going to start off with push-ups, so please go ahead and get your water bottles close to you. Get your music kicked on. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds. All right, we are starting off with push-ups. So if you have to have it elevated, get to an elevated position. Knee push-ups, make sure the butt's not getting too high on you. And full push-ups, use hand release as you get tired. It's okay to move from one variation to the next variation, okay? All right, we're gonna start off with our first round, 4 in a row, 35 seconds with a 20-second rest period, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and begin. 35 seconds.
1.
As good at push-ups as you can do. Try not to go too crazy fast. You do have to make sure you go 4 in a row. So you want to be on a nice solid pace on these. Don't be afraid to rest a little bit in between if needed. $15 seconds. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And rest. Great job, guys. We have 20-second rest. Go ahead and get off your hands. I always recommend getting off my hands in a push-up position. That takes the pressure off the shoulders. Stretch it out a little bit. If you don't have your music loud enough, crank your music up a little bit so you can hear it. 5 seconds. We're going to get into round 2 already. Push-ups again. Push-ups again.
2, 1. Exercise.
Begin. 35 seconds. More push-ups. Again, pace yourself so you can get through 4 rounds of this. Good. Everybody's camera angles are good. Abs tight. Don't be afraid to go to hand release if you start to wear down too much. Hand release really help you control that position. 10 seconds left. We are supposed to get a burn during this. That's why we're doing straight sets. We're trying to get a little bit of a muscle fatigue burn.
2, 1.
Rest. Good job, guys. 20-second break. That's 2 rounds down, 2 rounds to go. Nice thing about straight sets is they suck in a row, but they go they feel like they go really fast. Meaning once it's done, you're like, oh, I'm on the next one. I'm on the next one. I'm on the next one. Next thing you know, you're done. There is no finisher today. All right, guys, 3 seconds.
2, 1.
Round number 3, begin. Good job. Everybody's doing pretty good. If you're getting worn out and you can't go to hand release anymore either, it's okay to go to your knees and go to knee push-ups if you're doing full. If you're on knees and wearing out, you can always go to an incline as well. If you're on incline and wearing out, well, you're just there. So go slower. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Great job, guys. We are already going into our final round of push-ups. Push-ups are going to be one of the hardest ones in these straight sets because the muscle group will officially wear out. So they are going to burn out a little bit. We got 5 seconds. We're going to go into our final round.
2, 1.
And
Exercise
begin,
4.
guys. Last set of push-ups. Last set of push-ups. Don't worry about speed as much as technique, okay? I would rather you go a little bit slower and keep that technique good in this last round. We don't want to get that butt too high. Ten seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Great job, guys. All right, next, we're going to take just a quick little break as you can grab yourselves your weight. So different weights you will need for a goblet squat, right? So Nathan's using a backpack for his goblet squats. You can put a weight in front of you. You can get close to a couch if you're going to use a couch for sitting. You can use a band for banded squats as well, where you just like rack it in front of you for a band squat. Anything you can think of. Otherwise, this 4 straight rounds might be hard enough without weight too. So you'll have to figure it out. You can always drop weight if you need, okay? All right, guys, we're gonna get started in 5 seconds. Here we go. We're gonna do our 4 straight sets of squats, 35 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and begin.
Exercise 5.
35 seconds of these. Good. Head up, sitting down. Try to stay into those heels a little bit. We don't want to get up too much on the toes. We want to keep pressure into our heels. We call it mid-foot, really. So 15 seconds left. So we don't want to put all the pressure in our heels to where our toes elevate. We want to keep the pressure right in the middle of our foot, sitting deep and under control.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. 20-second break. I would recommend putting the weight down during the middle of this time because you did all those push-ups. So you probably don't want, if you're doing a front hold, you don't want to hold that weight there. If you're doing a banded squat, it's a little bit easier to take the band and put it up at your, like a single band and put it up around your chest.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 1.
Begin. Good job, guys. Keep those abs tight. That way those hips can drop. Find a spot with your eyes and find that on the wall and kind of just keep staring at that spot. They'll keep your eyes steady. Got 8 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. 2 down, 2 to go. If it's feeling a little easy, don't be afraid to go a little bit heavier on the weight or go a little bit quicker on your speed, okay? 5 seconds. We're going to get started with round 3.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 2.
Begin. Good, nice quality depth. Everybody's doing really good on their depth on these. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's concentrate on that breathing. 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And
Rest.
rest, guys. We have one more round of those. One more round. We'll be going into bicycles after this round, okay? One more round. Hopefully those legs are feeling a little bit of burn in them. That's what we're looking for, a little bit of burn in the quads.
3, 2, 1.
All right, last set.
Exercise 3.
Begin. One more set of 35 seconds. Squeeze those glutes hard as we get to the top. Control back down. So you want to go down a little bit slower, but come up a little bit quicker. Pop those hips through, control down, pop those hips through. 10 seconds.
3,
2,
1,
1, and rest. Great
Rest.
job, guys. Go ahead and take your weight, put it away. Next, we're going to be lying down on the ground. Grab yourselves a quick drink if you need one. We're going to be lying on the ground doing a bicycle next. Remember, on a bicycle, our regression for this today is going to be a dead bug. Okay, so if you can't do a bicycle, a dead bug, Nathan's going to demonstrate one real quick for me. Again, a bicycle. Good. Okay. All right, guys, make sure everybody gets lying down and we'll get this thing started. Okay, here we go. 3 seconds. We got 4 rounds of this one, 2 bicycles. 2, 1, begin.
Exercise 4.
All right, we have 4 sets of bicycles. Can't really mess up a bicycle in all honesty. All you got to do is just keep your legs moving and the upper body rotating just a little bit. Even if you're off on your cadence, that's fine. Main thing, our goal is to feel it in our core. So Nate's trying to take his belly button and drive it in the ground. We're trying to keep that core nice and tight. Got 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1, rest.
And rest. Good job, guys. 20-second break. So again, with any exercise where we're lying on the ground, you want to think about that belly button driving in the ground. So we're kind of drawing it in, keeping it nice and tight. That keeps the lower back solid, okay? If that was a little tough on your back, don't be afraid to go to dead bugs a little bit for a little while. Got 3 seconds.
2, 1. Exercise 5.
Begin. Round 2. So don't worry too much about your speed. If you're a little bit faster at this, you can go faster if you want. It's one of those, but if you're going slow, that's okay too. Abs actually work pretty good going slow. So don't be too worried about your pace, just kind of moving back and forth is the main goal. 10 seconds.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. 2 rounds down, 2 rounds to go. Hopefully you're feeling that a little bit in your core. Five seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And begin,
Exercise 1.
guys, starting round 3, round 3. Nice thing about this circuit today is once you're done with an exercise, you don't have to come back to it. So you just kind of burn that one out and move on. Try to stay in that position as much as possible. That keeps that core really engaged. Try not to drop those legs if possible to the ground. Try to stay up.
3, 2, 1, rest.
Rest. Great job, guys. We have one more set of those. One more set of those. Looks like Nate's feeling in his core a little bit. Hopefully everybody else is. If you're not feeling in your core, you could be going a little too quick as well. Going a little bit slower might help out. Not really slow, but a little
3,
bit slower than you are going.
2, 1. Exercise 2.
Begin. Last set. Last set. $15 seconds. 15 seconds. Keep going. It's our last set of these.
Three, 2, 1. Rest.
And rest, guys. Good job. If you need a drink, grab yourselves a quick drink. We're getting ready for the single leg glute bridge position. So we're going to be on the ground. Our foot can be elevated if you have something to elevate with. If you're elevating, you put your heel into the box. Otherwise, you can also take a band and have it banded on the bottom too. If you need that, you can add a band to the glute bridge on this one if you need to as well. Or you can always just do regular, just like glute bridge march on the ground too, okay? All right, guys, make sure everybody getting set up. We're going to start in about 5 seconds. All right, here we go. 4 rounds of this. 2, 1, begin.
Exercise 3.
So keep that leg going up straight. Stay on that same side. If it feels like your box or chair is moving on you a little bit, try to put pressure straight down into it, okay? The more pressure you can put straight down into that, the less chance it's going to move on you. 15 seconds. The big concentration on this one, guys, is the glute, that the leg that's into the box or the ground needs to be squeezing at the top. That's our big focus. The other leg's just kind of an elevator,
3,
putting a little pressure against it.
1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. Go ahead and switch legs. And the other one's just putting a little leverage against it. Your main goal is putting the pressure against the foot that's into the box or into the ground. Squeezing that one nice and tight.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 4.
Begin. Same thing on this side, squeezing that glute up, under control. If it's feeling a little easy and you have a band, you can always add a band to the top of it if you want. If it's feeling a little too tough, you can always go away from that elevation and just do it on the ground. Ten seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. We're switching back to that first leg again. Switching back to your first leg. We start in round 3.
3,
2, 1, and begin.
Exercise
Round
5.
3. This should be felt somewhere in your glute or hamstring or possibly both. If you're feeling it a little too much in your lower back, you need to squeeze your glutes a little bit harder. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. Going on to our final round of this one. Final round of this one. Should be our other foot. Last round.
3, 2, 1. Exercise
And
1.
begin. Abs tight, squeezing through. You want to think of like when we get to that top point, just think of it as a tall glute bridge, right? Abs tight, butt squeezed. It's our last one of this.
3, 2, 1.
And rest, guys. Good job. Go ahead and grab yourself one more drink. We're going to our final exercise of the day. We're doing some variation of what we call plyometric movement. So we have jumping knee tucks. We have pogos, so think of jump ropes. Any variation of those, a linear line hop, so thinking jumping forward and back like we did in the warm-up, or a two-step shuffle forward, all right? So Nathan's going to demonstrate just a knee tuck for me real quick, Nate, just to remind people about that one. That's the hardest variation. That variation is very hard, guys. So if you want to try that one, okay. But otherwise, doing one of those lesser variations is a pretty good starting point for week 1 on this, okay? All right, so we're going to get started in about 7 seconds. If you guys want to get stood up on that one. I'm going to do jumping knee tucks for our final one, okay? All right, here we go. 4 rounds of this one, 35 seconds. Any variation of a jumping or two-step shuffle forward and back. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Exercise 2.
It's our last exercise of the day, guys. Last exercise of the day. You can just do what you can. If you're feeling it a little too much in your calves, please regress that variation, okay? If you're in a house where you're afraid to wake people up, please use a little bit less of a variation. We don't want all that jumping and banging on them. 10 seconds. It's okay to mix and match between ones too, because some of these are going to get, those jumping knee tucks going to get really
3,
hard.
2, 1.
And rest. Good. 20-second break. 20-second break. Again, if that was too tough or it was tough enough, go to pogos for a round. You can always come back to jumping knee tucks for the next round. So pogos, think of just like a harder variation of a
3,
jump rope.
2, 1. Exercise 3.
Begin. 35 more seconds. Good. Just anything to keep you moving. That's all we're really looking for. Anything to keep you moving. That heart rate elevated. $15 seconds. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And rest. Good job, guys. 2 rounds left and we're done. This one should be pretty tiring. We're looking for us to get pretty tired on this one. So if it's not quite tiring enough, make sure you pick up your variation or pick up your speed on whatever variation you're doing, okay? 5 seconds. We're going to round 3.
2, 1.
Begin.
4.
This is when you want to have on your power song for the music, right? So when you throw on Eye of the Tiger, No Easy Way Out. Girls just want to have fun, you know, those ones. 15 seconds. 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And rest. 20 seconds. If you need a drink, grab a drink. We're going into our very final one. Last exercise of the day, and you guys can get on with your day.
Three,
2, 1. Last one.
Exercise
Begin.
5.
35 more seconds. $20 seconds. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. $10 seconds. 5.
3, 2, 1. Your timer
And
is
you
complete.
guys are done. Let's go ahead and